guys, welcome to Too Personal. I'm Joy Taylor. Thanks so much for joining us again this week. Make sure that you hit subscribe if you haven't already and follow us on our socials at Too Personal Show. Very exciting show today. We have Ryan Mitchell, aka the Slate God. He is an entertainment host, culture critic, and the NFL's first LGBTQ plus brand ambassador. And we had a great conversation, which we will get to later. So make sure that you stay around and check that out. Loved talking to Ryan. But first, of course, we have to have our rant for this week. And in case you were one of the best of us and were hiding out in the mountains somewhere without the internet, you've just learned that over the weekends, at our Supreme Leader, President Trump's order, the U.S. forces directly entered the Israel-Iran conflict and launched airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites. And on Monday, Iran and Israel agreed to a U.S.-brokered ceasefire, with Iran halting strikes immediately and Israel set to follow within 12 hours, aiming to end nearly 2 weeks of escalating violence. So that's a short recap of us being on the brink of World War III, which was really super fun as we head into the summer. And, we just haven't seen a moment of peace since this new regime took over. And it has been a trickle of one exhausting news story to the next. And at this point, if you're a millennial, we're basically just functioning off of emotional fumes at this point. I honestly don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't being completely managing just a ridiculous amount of emotions and fear from the ridiculous choices that our leaders have made time and time again, which spill over into the next administration and so on and so forth. But what's going on right now is particularly exhausting because we have this stream of social media news where we'll have like a get ready with me and then a sports story and then the pending apocalypse. And this particular move by this administration is extra horrifying considering they did not go through any of the normal procedures that you're supposed to go through as an elected leader of this country, like, I don't know, get congressional approval to start a war. And every day that this goes on and every day it gets more intense and every day it gets more unconstitutional and every day it feels like we're being dragged into this mess of old angry men and their egotistical plans. And I gotta say, I don't know how many young people are signing up for this one. I don't know how many young people are interested in these particular kinds of wars. And I think social media will play an extra important role in how these type of conflicts play out. It's a different time than it's been in years past, where propaganda obviously is still extremely powerful. Otherwise, this man would not be in office to begin with. However, the ways that they used to control media and control the ideas and purposes behind wars are pretty over, because now that the entire planet has social media and the entire planet has the internet, and we can point a camera in any direction and record and share what is actually happening in real time, it very much dispels the ideas of fear-mongering and control in ways that it hasn't in years past. For example, we had some protests here in Los Angeles because of ICE a few weeks ago. And while the news did a pretty good job of making it seem like the whole of Los Angeles was burning to the ground, all of us here in Los Angeles who were not directly in the center of downtown Los Angeles were very willing to share that we were going about our lives as normal and that there were not tanks rolling down the streets of Beverly Hills, because there were in fact not tanks rolling down the streets of Beverly Hills. Now, while it was intense and there were curfews and there was quite a bit going on and we all took it very seriously, if you weren't in downtown LA, you were not involved in the conflict that was going on in downtown LA. For those of you who don't know, Los Angeles is a massively huge city, one of the biggest in the world. And it's more and more difficult to control people's brains and reality when they can walk out their door, record, and share what's happening in real time when you're trying to tell blanket stories. And I say all that to say, there's always been different versions of wars. There's always been different versions of conflicts. In the end, we find out that it really was generally about a few leaders' egos and not really about anything that they pitched to the communities or to the countries or to the world. This time around, I will be very interested to see how they package and brand these conflicts, because all of us are paying attention. This is a global economy. We have the internet. We have permanent history there that they cannot erase or control. And everyone has the ability to share their voice whenever they so please on social media. So we'll see how they try and brand and pitch this one. But to all of you out there that are exhausted, I am there with you. On top of course, inflation and having to pay bills and rent and everything else that is completely out of our control. It seems that we are just stuck in this whirlwind of insanity. And I gotta be honest, for those of you who put us in this spot, I will never forgive you. Oh my God. I will never forgive you. All this, like, you can come to Jesus, like, you can absolutely learn your lesson, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna fuck with you after you learned your lesson. You're clearly too stupid to be having conversations with me. So this is your fault. And I do not forgive you. That's for other better people than me, because it's not me.